Alright. Factory Danger, 79 place and a score of +1. Another stable on another level created by Ace. Yeah, and I already played through this off camera, so I will already be knowing what I'm getting myself into. Basically, the level focuses around the komasaburos. It sounds very Japanese. Of course, you know. That's to be expected, I guess. Anyways, yeah, this is pretty much the main gimmick of the stage, having these komasaburos, you know, throwing their top spins at you. And there are also quite a few screw bombers. Yes, that's what they're called. Oh, okay, I should have just sat there. Wow, and I can't believe I dodged that. Oh yeah, and the conveyors are also a big part of this stage. Yeah. And you know, supposedly this is a pretty hard stage. Reaching the first checkpoint is actually very, very easy. I'd say probably anyone could do it. But it does get harder, you know, past the... well, you know, basically in the last set of challenges, it definitely ramps up a bit in the difficulty, that's for sure. But yeah, already we have, you know, quite a few more spikes here. And oh yeah, gotta pay attention to the conveyors. Oh wow, he just smacked me. Alright, let's just... Dude! Oi. Wow, dude. That was no good. Well, now that we have gotten the failing out of the way, now we can surely do this. Oh wow, cannot believe! I cannot believe I jumped onto the spike. I cannot believe I dodged that, I was about to say. But yeah, if you walk too fast, you might get 2 bullet bills on the screen at the same time at some points here, so you have to be a little bit careful when moving. There we go, very nice. Yeah, that one is that one is tight. Oh wow, I did all that nice gunning there, just to fail. There, yeah, that's a good way of dealing with him. And yeah, since I went on the right path on my blind playthrough, or you know, of my first one, I'm thinking I will just take this way this time. And yeah, it does kind of remind me of Mega Man 1, you know, in Electman stage here, how we have 2 paths, you know, to climb at the same time here. Pretty neat, I have to say. Oh, yo, man. Alright, come on. Dude, alright, now they are all off sync here. There you go. Yeah, so these first 2 parts, I mean, that second part, or this second part, actually was kind of tricky, you know, there. But, oh, it does get, yeah, or well, how should I say, this is where it starts getting tricky for real, you know. Ah, dang it, all that dodging just to jump into it. Yeah, there's an E-tank here. Oh man, I don't know how to dodge that, I'm too sucky. Oh, okay, dude. Oh man, I cannot take this much damage, is the thing. Because there will be some nasty colossal boodles coming up here. There we go. Yeah, this is where it starts getting nasty. Like, there are so many enemies here. And I know this, if you just kind of... Ouch, if you don't... Oh, man. If you don't drag your feet, you know, you can get... Oh, you can get through that a little bit easier. If you stand and take your time, it will become a lot harder. And you know, what are the odds of me beating this guy? There is just no way. Yep, no way. But yeah, Crystal Man in this particular room, you know, there is no ceiling, so in that regard he's easier, but you know, he will kind of, you know, try and close the gap on you here, so you kind of have to move around, you know, the room and have him come after you basically. And it is kind of interesting how you move in this fight. You know, usually when there is a ceiling in the room, it gets a little bit tricky to deal with these prisms, you know, flying around. You don't really have that in this particular setup, so all you really have to focus on is, you know, dodging his crystal shots and, you know, avoiding him jumping into you. So it's a new way of fighting Crystal Man, you know. Usually he really just shoots prisms everywhere and you kind of get overwhelmed. That's usually his game plan. But here, when, you know, when the ceiling is removed, and you know, with the conveyors and the springs in the middle, he's more threatening because, you know, he bounces around a whole lot. So you have to you can't get, what should I say, you cannot really get scared. You just have to kind of look for the opportunity to jump over him. Either, yeah, as I did there, I you know, bounced up on top of the ladders there on the sides and I jumped over him. On my blind playthrough, I didn't really even consider that. I just tried sliding under him and that worked too. But yeah, that was clearly a better way of doing it. So, you know, it has a few different ways that you can do that room, or the boss fight, so that's pretty neat actually. As for the stage itself, we had the springs and we had the conveyors, and yeah, it had a nice, you know, difficulty progression, I have to admit. You know, it starts out very easy. You can definitely tell that the first checkpoint is the easiest one, and you know, then the second part of the stage, you know, after the first checkpoint, you know, it definitely gets mediocre in challenge, and then for the third part it definitely ramps up because there are tons of enemies. But you know, of course, since I already knew what to do, you know, if you don't just book it, you know, as soon as you enter that third last segment of the stage, where all the Komasaburos and the spines are on the floor, like if you just stand there and stall, you're going to have to sit there and like shoot like crazy to remove the little top spins, and you know, then go for it. So yeah, I made it look a little bit easier than it actually is. It actually is quite a bit trickier, that's for sure. But yeah, all in all, you know, a pretty cool stage there, Ace. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit sluggish right now, or I know I am a little bit sluggish for a fact, but yeah. But you know, I just felt like playing some stages here, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh well. Okay, well, that will be it for that, so thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.